accountability? Where does the buck stop? That's the question we're going to raise tonight on the news today. Let's get kicking off with the 9 headlines at 9 tonight. The death toll in the Morbi bridge disaster rises to over 130. The police arrest 9, including 2 clerks and 1 contractor. Prime Minister chairs meet to review situation in Gandhinagar. Opposition targets the Modi government ahead of the elections, questions the Gujarat model. Rahul Gandhi says he will not join politics over Morbi. Arvind Kejriwal and AAP raise questions. BJP pins blame on local officials and private operators. Centre hits at revision in sedition law, tells Supreme Court that it may bring changes in the upcoming winter session. Court wanted the colonial law to be scrapped or amended. Supreme Court tags pleas challenging Aadhaar voter ID linking with other pending cases, says detailed hearing is required. The Delhi Police Crime Branch conducts searches at the homes of the Wire founders. Electronic devices of Siddharth Vardarajan and MK Venu examined. The raids come after the BJP IT cell head Amit Malviya filed an FIR accusing Wire of conspiring against him. The Reserve Bank of India to commence pilot launch of digital rupee for specific use tomorrow. 9 banks are set to participate. Brazil takes a turn to the left as former President Luiz Lula da Silva makes a stunning comeback, beats far-right incumbent Jair Bolsonaro in the presidential elections. Virat Kohli alleges breach of privacy after an intruder breaks in and shoots video of his room in Perth. The hotel apologizes. Big announcement by BCCI. Umran Malik returns as Hardik Pandya is named India captain for New Zealand T20s. Shikhar Dhawan to lead in ODIs right after the World Cup. But tonight's top story. The toll in the Gujarat bridge tragedy in Morbi in Saurashtra has now crossed 130. 133 people confirmed dead. It's been one of the worst of its kind bridge disasters in recent times. It's put the Gujarat government and its police on the back foot, with questions being raised over safety and security systems that were in place. Today, the Gujarat police have arrested 9 people, including 2 officials of the Oreva group, the contractor that was hired for the maintenance of the British-era bridge. The bridge operators are accused of reopening the bridge without getting a fitness certificate from the local body. Whichever way you look at it, whether it was overcrowding on the bridge or the lack of supervision, maintenance and fitness, the fact is the Morbi mishap is a man-made tragedy. It's our top story tonight as we will raise uncomfortable, inconvenient questions that remain to be answered. Take a look.
Hundreds of lives shattered in a matter of seconds. Around 6:30 p.m. on Sunday, a suspension bridge across Machchhu River in Morbi, a town in Gujarat, collapsed. CCTV visuals that caught the last moments show the cable snapping in an instant, plunging those on the bridge into the river. Many could be seen climbing up the mangled wires in a desperate attempt to save themselves. Many more were in the river, some under the remains of the bridge. People on the banks and the nearby construction sites rushed to the rescue of the victims.
लगभग कितने लोगों को निकाला हुआ?
200-250।
250 लोगों को निकाला।
हाँ,
उसके बाद मदद का पुलिस वाले या और मदद के लिए पहुंचे?
ये आधी घंटे बाद आए थे।
आधा घंटे बाद?
हाँ, उससे ज्यादा भी था। हम लोग तो उधर 8:30 बजे तक आदमी को निकालते रहे।
400 people and it is believed to be on board. They're walking and suddenly it collapsed and now a massive operation being run by the administration, by the government, the Indian Army, NDRF, the STRF, special teams being formed, and this is how the search operation, the rescue operation being carried out.
Over 130 are dead, 45 of them below the age of 18.
मेरी लाइफ में 10 बच्चे लाया, इसमें एक लड़का जिंदा है।
Many families lost multiple members.
हमारे परिवार का 3 है, एक अच्छा है, 2 स्प्रेड हो गए, 2 एक घायल है, 2 नहीं रहे।
NDRF and army teams were pressed into service Sunday night. As hours passed, chances of survivors diminished. With rescue efforts winding up, efforts will now be to nail what went wrong. The 230 meters long British era bridge was reopened only 5 days ago after repairs. The contractor in charge of renovation and maintenance, an Oreva group firm, was allotted a year for the work but finished the project in 5 months. The company had allegedly reopened the bridge without obtaining a fitness certificate. The Morbi municipal body claims they were not aware of the bridge reopening. The operator allegedly sold much more than the 100 tickets permitted, leading to overcrowding. The police have arrested 9 people, including Oreva officials.
9 लोगों को अरेस्ट किया है और तमाम के विरुद्ध में भारतीय दंड संहिता के कलम 304, 308 और 114 के तहत इसमें गुना दाखिल किया गया है।
Look at this thickness of this cable, literally 5 to 6 inches of this cable, and this is how it broke upon. So one part of the cable still hanging upon, which is supporting rest part of the structure, and this is how it damaged. This is so heavy, I can't even lift it. And this was supporting the suspension bridge. This is where it broke upon.
Rules flouted at multiple levels. One thing is certain, the Morbi bridge mishap is a man-made tragedy. Now the question is, will anyone be held accountable? Will justice be served? With Ashutosh and Gopi Manyar in Morbi, Bureau Report, India Today.
That's right. This is a man-made tragedy. We do not wish to politicize it, but we will call for accountability, because in every such tragedy of a man-made nature, questions will be raised that demand accountability. These are the unanswered questions tonight. Was overcrowding the main reason for the bridge collapse, as is being suggested by the administration? Is it true that the bridge did not have a fitness certificate before being reopened? If so, how was it allowed to be reopened? Did the private operator simply seek to make a quick buck? Why weren't sufficient security and safety systems in place on the day? Did the local body hurry reopening with an eye on the festive season and elections? Can they say that they had no idea about the reopening? Was maintenance the sole responsibility of the private operator only? How and why was the Oreva group given the contract? Was the contract given from Gandhinagar or was it given in Rajkot? And why is a 140-year-old British era bridge still in use? These are some of the questions I will raise. Ashutosh Mishra is our correspondent on the ground in Morbi. Prakash Waghela is an eyewitness who was there while this was happening. Naeem Sheikh, survivor. Alok Bhaumik is a structural engineer. Ronak Maniyar visited the bridge just before its collapse. Jairaj Singh Jadeja is Deputy Chairman Morbi Municipal Corporation. I want to come to you one by one. सबके पास में आऊंगा. जयराज सिंह जी आप बताइए, क्योंकि आप मोरबी म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन से जुड़े हुए हैं. क्या आपको पता नहीं था कि क्या हो रहा था ग्राउंड पर? रौनक मनियार जी आप हमें बताइए, आप उस स्थान पर गए थे कोलैप्स के कुछ घंटे पहले, क्या वाकई बहुत लोग वहां जुड़े हुए थे? कितने लोग वहां जुड़े हुए थे? क्या किसी ने आपको कहा कि मत जाइए वहां, कि इतने लोग हैं, कुछ हो सकता है? कोई सेफ्टी सिक्योरिटी थी?
जैसे कि मैं वहां पहुंचा 4:30 बजे, तब ज्यादा भीड़ थी। जैसे कि मैं अंदर पहुंचा टिकट लेके, तब वो पुल पे 120 से 140 जन होंगे।
कितने कितने
और
रुपए की टिकट खरीदी आपने?
बच्चों के लिए 12 रुपए थी और एडल्ट के लिए 17 रुपए थी। 1770।
ठीक है, पर किसी ने
तो
आपको कहा कि देखिए ज्यादा लोग हैं, आप बाद में आइए, या लोगों भीड़ इकट्ठा होती रही?
जैसे कि मैं वहां पहुंचा तभी 20 जन की लाइन थी, वो मैं पार करके टिकट लिया है। तो फिर मैं अंदर गया और ऑलरेडी वहां पे 100 से 150 लोग तो थे ही, और जो लाइन में खड़े थे वो अलग।
और कोई शेक कर रहा था ब्रिज को, जो झूला ब्रिज है उसको लोग रस्सी पकड़ के उसको उस पर, ये सही है कि उसके साथ खेल रहे थे?
जी हाँ, जैसे कि 10 से लेके 15 साल के बच्चे थे और थोड़े बड़े भी थे। वो वहां पे ग्रीन कलर की जाली लगी होती है, उसको
पकड़ रहे थे। नईम शेख आप हमारे साथ हैं इस समय। नईम शेख, आप सर्वाइवर हैं, आप हमें बताइए क्या हुआ, क्या वजह है? क्या केवल ओवर क्राउडिंग थी या बिल्कुल लापरवाही थी? નઈમ ભાઈ,
नहीं दे रहा, थोड़ा जोर से बोलिए।
નઈમ ભાઈ, તમે મારી આવાજ આવે છે, મને કહો कि ત્યાં वहां लापरवाही थी, कोई था? क्या हुआ जब ये हादसा हुआ? आप हमें वो बताइए, जब हम ये दृश्य दिखा रहे थे क्या हुआ, वो लास्ट मिनट में क्या हुआ?
लास्ट मिनट में तो सब लोग तो बीचों बीच में बहुत मज़ा कर रहा था, मज़ा भी किया। तो अचानक से ब्रिज टूट के नीचे गिर गया। तो तब डर का बहुत माहौल था, सब लोग डर रहा था।
लोग थे वहां नईम भाई, कितने लोग थे? पूरी भीड़ थी?
तो कुछ पता,
पूरी भीड़ थी वहां?
करीब हाँ, करीबन 400 से 500 भीड़ थी।
400 से 500 लोग थे उस ब्रिज पे उस समय। किसी ने आपको ये कहा मत जाइए वहां, मत जाइए, कोई डेंजर है?
नहीं, कोई तो नहीं कहा। टिकट वाला जितना भी टिकट दे रहा है, सब लोग लाइन में खड़ा है, आ रहा है और टिकट देता जा रहा है, आ रहा है, टिकट देता जा रहा है। टिकट वाला भी कुछ नहीं बोला, कोई सिक्योरिटी भी नहीं था वहाँ पर,
कोई सिक्योरिटी नहीं था। टिकट वाला जो भी आना चाहता था आ रहा था। आपको फ्रैक्चर हुआ है, आपकी बाकी तबीयत तो ठीक है ना? आपके कोई रिश्तेदार सब ठीक है?
हाँ, मेरा दोस्त 6 आदमी गया था, तो 6 में से 5 को मिला और एक तो पूरा डेथ हो गया, एक को नहीं मिला। सब लोग
डेथ हुई है।
ऊपर की भगवान की कृपा है, सब लोग ठीक है।
ठीक है, तो
हाँ, सब लोग ठीक है।
ठीक है। जयराज सिंह जाडेजा, डेप्यूटी चेयरमैन मोरबी म्यूनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन, आप बताइए ये जवाबदेही किसकी है? यहां कहा जा रहा है कि कोई सिक्योरिटी नहीं, कोई सेफ्टी नहीं, जिसको टिकट चाहिए था वो जा रहा था। अब म्यूनिसिपल अथॉरिटी कहती है प्राइवेट ऑपरेटर को जिम्मेदार ठहराओ, पर आपके म्यूनिसिपल अथॉरिटी का क्या कोई जिम्मेदारी नहीं है? आपको मालूम भी नहीं था कि फिटनेस सर्टिफिकेट के बगैर ब्रिज रीओपन करते हैं?
आपने जो बोला
जी,
हाँ, कि फिटनेस सर्टिफिकेट के बगैर हमें अभी तक कोई जो पत्र व्यवहार है उससे कोई जानकारी नहीं दी गई थी, या कोई फोन से भी सूचना नहीं दी गई थी कि हम ये शुरू करने वाले हैं। ये सब त्योहार के दिन थे, सब इधर सौराष्ट्र में दिवाली के दिन सब अपने अपने गांव जाते हैं। तो
जयराज भाई, એવું કયું ચાલે कि छोटा गांव? सर, मोरबी छोटा शहर है, 4 दिन से वहां ब्रिज रीओपन है और म्यूनिसिपल अथॉरिटीज कह रहे हैं उनको मालूम नहीं है कि ब्रिज रीओपन हुआ है। ये कैसी बात है? दिवाली हो या साल मुबारक हो, गुजराती न्यू ईयर हो, कैसे कह सकते हैं कि लोगों को मालूम नहीं कि ब्रिज रीओपन हुआ है?
हमें जो ऑफिशियली उनके तरफ से जो जानकारी दी जानी चाहिए वो कंपनी की तरफ से नहीं मिली थी
जी।
और हाँ, ये बात है। और दूसरी बात ये है कि ये जो 134 साल पुराना ये पुल है, 134 साल पुराना, और 2008 से 2018 तक हमने ये कंपनी को दे दिया था। उसके बाद 2 साल तक बंद रहा। फिर हमने 2022 में उनको रिनोवेशन करने के लिए उन्होंने हमको बोला और हमने उनको दिया।
लेकिन ये कहा जा रहा है कि ये कॉन्ट्रैक्ट जो दिया गया गांधीनगर में दिया गया, क्या ये सही है कि ओरेवा को कॉन्ट्रैक्ट गांधीनगर में दिया गया, किसी की पॉलिटिकल सिफारिश पर दिया गया?
नहीं नहीं, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है।
तो किसने दिया? ओरेवा को किसने बुलाया? ओरेवा को किसने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट दिया? मोरबी के म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन नहीं दिया?
नहीं, ओरेवा जो कंपनी है वो इधर की मोरबी की अजंता लिमिटेड और ओरेवा वो बहुत बड़ी कंपनी है। और वो उस कंपनी को ये टिकट बेचकर कोई बिजनेस करना है, ऐसा कोई उस कंपनी का इश्यू नहीं है। वो तो बहुत बड़ी कंपनी है, उसको इसके साथ नहीं। लेकिन वो क्या है, वो मोरबी के रहवासी है, उन्होंने ऐसा सोचा कि मोरबी के लिए कुछ करे, इसलिए उन्होंने सामने आके ये बोला कि हम ये झूलता पुल है जो उसको हम मेंटेन करेंगे, उसको संभालेंगे। उसको ऐसी कोई जरूरत नहीं है कि वो टिकट लेकर कुछ उसमें से कमाए। लेकिन उन्होंने क्या सोचा कि हम मोरबी के हैं तो मोरबी के लिए कुछ करें।
तो आप कह रहे हैं कि वो मोरबी के हैं, मोरबी के लिए कुछ करना चाहते थे, इसलिए ये कॉन्ट्रैक्ट आपने दिया। ठीक है, ये बात कुछ हद तक मैंने सुना है सही है कि वो कुछ जनता के लिए करना चाहते थे। लेकिन जो रिपेयर और रेनोवेशन, फिटनेस सर्टिफिकेट के बगैर ब्रिज रीओपन करना, ये किसकी जवाबदेही सर? फिटनेस सर्टिफिकेट तो होना चाहिए।
नहीं, वो आप जो बात बोल रहे हैं वो सही बात है। मैं ऐसा नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि आप गलत बात कर रहे हैं। लेकिन मैं आपको क्या बोलता हूँ कि नगर पालिका को इसका कोई इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं मिला था कि हम ये पुल स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं। दूसरी बात, जिस दिन ये बना, अगर
सर नगर पालिका सो रही थी, ये कैसे बात आप कह सकते हैं सर? मोरबी जैसे गांव में 4 दिन से ब्रिज खुला रहता है और आप कह रहे हैं कि नगर पालिका को इसकी जानकारी नहीं है। ये बात तो आपकी हजम नहीं हो रही है सर।
तो आपको जो ठीक लगे, मैं आपको दूसरा तो क्या बोल सकता हूँ।
ठीक है,
लेकिन ये बात सही है कि अगर कोई ऐसा हादसा होता है तो सबसे पहले दुख तो हम मोरबी वालों को हुआ है, पूरे देश को हुआ है, पूरा विश्व इसके ऊपर दुख जता रहा है। और हम किसी के ऊपर ब्लेम करें कि ये इनके कारण हुआ है, वो तो एक हुआ है, वो बात सच है। लेकिन हमने तो क्या है कि सुबह 4 बजे तक सब डेड बॉडियों को बाहर निकाला है और आज भी हम इधर ही है। और
सर हमारी संवेदना आपके साथ है। मैं बस यही पूछना चाहता हूं कि जवाबदेही किसकी है, पर संवेदना आपके साथ मैं गारंटी देता हूं पूरी है। आशुतोष, यू आर देयर ऑन द स्पॉट, आपने सुना म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन व्हाट दे आर सेइंग। आई वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड, इज इट प्योर नेग्लिजेंस ऑन द ग्राउंड by the local security? Who was there? Were there any security personnel to manage what was happening? As Nadeem Sheikh is telling us, everybody was getting a ticket.
Well, Rajdeep, as the Honorable Deputy, the Mayor from the Nagar Palika says that there was no official communication. Let me tell you that if you start, constructing a single portion out of your structure, it is the first civic body official that will knock your door. Here, a bridge which is being operational for last 5 days after 7 months long because of the, this renovation process. How did they fail to even check on that it is operational? Secondly, there was massive crowd, and during the festive season it is often on high alert, and whenever there is a crowd, it is the specific law and order protocol that the local police have to come to manage the crowd, disperse the crowd, be it the vehicular movement or even the heavy footfall. It is the local duty, and that is where the police agency, entire police machinery failed, despite noticing that it was first Sunday after the bridge was open. And why did they not anticipate that there will be huge crowd?
So there was no police.
Have been several instances where they have seen on the There was no police. There was no police. Had there been a police personnel deployed, because the bridge is open from both the side, the crowd could have been managed. That we exactly see number of footfall that managed to gather on the bridge, and that perhaps could not even afford, because every structure, and particularly when you have a century-old structure, it has certain capacity to carry out the weight, and when you breach out the that capacity, such incidents bound to happen.
Right.
And that's exactly
you're giving us very important information. The absence of police and security on the ground on an important Sunday after Gujarati New Year, bridge reopened. So there is negligence. Alok Bhaumik, is it even more difficult in a case like a suspension bridge of this kind, 140 years old, now repaired, renovated? In your view, how safe are such bridges as a structural engineer?
Well, thank you, Rajdeep, for giving me this opportunity. And before I say anything, I express my heartfelt condolences for the bereaved families of all those who lost their lives. Rajdeep, let me put this in the perspective. Let us understand that this is a cable-supported bridge, and it is not a run-of-the-mill bridge that every contractor constructs or every designer designs. Design and construction of this type of cable-supported bridges requires a very high level of skill, number one. Second, this is a bridge which was constructed way back in 1879, nearly 143 years ago. I question the wisdom of the owner to repair or to think of repairing this bridge, particularly because this is a bridge which was done at a time when the scientific developments, the technology was not that great. Today, based on today's loading, if we check this bridge, it is bound to be,
Are you saying, Mr. Bhaumik, that a bridge like this cannot be repaired and renovated? It is better not to use it at all?
I'm saying that a bridge of, which has lived its life, before repairing, you have to carry out a detailed investigation and diagnosis to see whether it has got any remaining service life from consideration of, the fatigue, from consideration of whatever corrosion which has taken place over the years. Remind you that this is a bridge which was done with steel procured from UK. And those steels during those times had a very high degree of, corrosivity. And today's steels are much better. So I'm very, very doubtful whether all these aspects were taken into consideration while taking the decision to repair and rehabilitate this bridge. I mean, and secondly, mind you that this is a bridge which is only 4 feet, 1.25 meter wide. And today, it is not a wise decision to have a bridge 233 meter long with only 1.25 meter width, because the aspect ratio is very, very vulnerable to aerodynamic instability.
Sir,
normally if you have a bridge of 233 meter, you would expect it to be about 12, 13, 14, 15 feet and not 1 point. So it may be okay when it was constructed and designed way back in 1879 because the traffic was less, probably the funds were less. Today, if I have to consider a bridge, even if it is a pedestrian bridge of 233 meter, I would go for a 10 feet or 12 feet wide bridge.
So you're effectively telling us something important again, that this bridge perhaps in its present form had outlived its utility, which is why the question will come, why was this bridge still there? Why was it allowed to continue? What was the urgency to refurbish it in such a short period of time? These are the important questions that I will now, that we will continue to raise.
Just one more point, Rajdeep,
yes.
Just one more point
yes.
I want to add.
Yes.
That even suppose you, whatever may be the reason you have decided to, repair and rehabilitate this bridge for whatever historic reason, whether you have carried out the proper assessment of the remaining service life of this bridge before you carry out the investigation, repair. That is what is also a big...
Your point is well taken, sir, and these are questions that need to be asked, and that's where the accountability is coming in. I appreciate my guest joining me at this moment, because there is, of course, the other angle to what is happening. We focused on just what was happening on the ground, but politics has erupted. politics over this bridge collapse in Gujarat. Remember, the state goes to the polls in just a few weeks from now. And it is the home state of Prime Minister Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah. Predictably, there is a political battle playing out. Although the likes of Rahul Gandhi have insisted that the tragedy will not be politicized, the Congress has demanded a judicial probe into the incident, as has AAP. Interestingly, some BJP leaders even accused AAP of the conspiracy, a charge that has been rubbished by Mr. Kejriwal's party. How is it playing out? And what does this mean for the Gujarat model? Take a look.
Overloaded, swayed, and moments later, the bridge fell into the river beneath at a sharp angle. And with it, at least 135 lives. The tragedy unfolded in the middle of election campaign in Gujarat. Political reaction was inevitable. With his party fighting a high-stakes battle in the BJP-ruled state, Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal appeared to have steered away from mounting an immediate attack on the Gujarat government for the disaster. The Congress party's top leadership took a similar stand.
दुरुस्त करने के 5 दिन जो पहले उद्घाटन हुआ और 5-6 दिन में ये कोलैप्स हुआ, ये क्या कारण है और इतने लोगों को छोड़ने की कोशिश किसने की, इसका सारा एक इंक्वायरी होना चाहिए। खास करके अगर रिटायर्ड हाई कोर्ट या सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जज के नेतृत्व में इसको करना चाहिए।
The lieutenants, however, were less gentle. Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot visited Morbi and described the tragedy as an outcome of a scam.
जो कमी जो रही है, फायर ब्रिगेड वाले आपको कह रहे हैं कि एनओसी नहीं लिया गया और जो सर्टिफिकेट होते हैं कि इसकी क्या स्ट्रेंथ है वो नहीं लिया गया। तो जो कमी रही है वो हकीकत में सामने तब आएगी, तब निष्पक्ष जांच होगी। निष्पक्ष जांच जो कल एसआईटी बनाई, मैंने सुना है कमेटी बनाई ऑफिसर्स की, वो जांच नहीं कर सकती। विश्वास पब्लिक का उनके ऊपर नहीं रहेगा।
Aam Aadmi Party MP Sanjay Singh and the party's Gujarat leader blamed the BJP directly, alleging corruption and corporate political nexus in the state. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah issued solemn condolences.
हादसे में जिन लोगों को अपना जीवन गंवाना पड़ा है, मैं उनके परिवारों के प्रति अपनी संवेदना व्यक्त करता हूं। दुख की इस घड़ी में सरकार हर तरह से पीड़ित परिवारों के साथ है।
But leaders like Kapil Mishra down in the BJP's hierarchy sought to corner the Aam Aadmi Party with a conspiracy theory. That's how he tweeted out these screenshots of Aam Aadmi Party related handles, which apparently warned the BJP of a setback in state elections. A measured response from the senior leadership for now, and the beginning of no-holds-barred political attacks from the political midfielders over the heart-wrenching crash in the run-up to the Gujarat elections. With Ashutosh and Gopi Manyar in Morbi, Gujarat, Bureau Report, India Today.
So let's raise now the big political questions. Who will be held accountable specifically for the Morbi tragedy? Does the tragedy cast a shadow on the Gujarat model? Is this a political issue in election season in Gujarat? Where does the buck stop? Can Gujarat government really be blamed for local mismanagement? Some of the questions we will raise. Supriya Srinath is the Congress's spokesperson. Syed Zafar Islam, BJP, Reena Gupta of the AAP. Syed Zafar Islam, it's your government and therefore I start with you. Do you accept responsibility, accountability must stop at some level with some political accountability, or is it simply the local officials and indeed the private operator who must be solely blamed? The municipal authorities tell us, don't even blame us. We didn't even know that the bridge was reopened. Who is to be then held accountable, sir?
Rajdeep, first of all, on my behalf, on behalf of my party and leadership, I would like to convey the condolence to the family who have lost their close relatives and family members. Away from that, what question you have raised, I mean, today, it's a very sad day. It's an accident. It's a tragedy. And I'm sure that everybody is going through the pains.
It's a man-made tragedy, sir. It's a man-made tragedy. It's not an act of God. It's an act of fraud.
Rajdeep, I think you must wait for people to react.
Okay.
All I'm trying to tell you that whether it's a man-made, whether it's a God-made, or it's an act of fraud, or it's an act of God, it's something which will get decided once the investigation is over. You know, what was our priority? As soon as the accident took place, our priority was the rescue operation. That is what we prioritize. But there are some political parties who play politics in every situation. Here, I must tell you, there is absolutely no headroom to play politics. But there are the political parties, likes of Congress and AAP, they are trying to play politics.
Okay, can hold on to that thought, because I want, I will not let you. No, since you have said that, let's just hear what Rahul Gandhi said.
Let me just complete.
Yeah, okay, complete. Please complete.
All I'm trying to tell you that the governments prioritize first the rescue operation, also initiated they formed a committee which will investigate the matter. Whoever is responsible for that, whoever, you said where the bucks will stop. Whoever is responsible.
You're saying whoever is responsible will be held accountable. Let's just listen into what Prime Minister Modi said when a similar bridge collapse took place in Kolkata. You must listen to it. You must listen to it now.
You are trying to.
You must listen.
Politicizing.
How am I? Listen to it. I'll let the viewers decide. Please listen. Please play it.
इतना बड़ा ब्रिज टूट गया तो क्या कहते हैं ये लोग? ये कहते हैं ये तो एक्ट ऑफ गॉड है। दीदी, ये एक्ट ऑफ गॉड नहीं, ये तो एक्ट ऑफ फ्रॉड है, फ्रॉड।
Now you tell me, when it was Kolkata, it was an act of fraud and the blame was on Didi. This time it's in Gujarat. Are we saying again it is an act of God, act of fraud? I want clarity from you, then I'll move on.
Rajdeep, as I said earlier, that a committee will investigate. You know, the committee has been formed, the SIT has been constituted, and they will investigate.
Mr. Modi did not make his comments in Kolkata after a committee report. He made it before. He went to Kolkata, immediately attacked Mamata Banerjee. He was the Prime Minister of the country.
To tell you that the committee has been formed. I am saying that whoever is
Mr. Modi made his comments in Kolkata, Zafar Islam, even before a committee report. Blamed Mamata Banerjee on day one.
You can see everyone is making this kind of allegation against Gujarat government.
Okay.
Are you not holding them responsible for that?
Okay, let's
see. Number of tweets you have shown, number of people who have spoken, but does that matter? Because there is a committee which has been formed by the government of Gujarat. Let the report come. Let them investigate. As I said earlier,
well, maybe the same approach, Mr. Zafar Islam, maybe the same approach should have been taken in Bengal in 2016. That's all I'm saying. But Supriya Srinath, I will now play what Rahul Gandhi said. Rahul Gandhi was in Telangana and he was asked a specific question.
Before that?
No, 1 minute, ma'am. No, you must wait. Let's play, producer, can you play what Rahul Gandhi said today when he was asked the question? Listen in.
I don't want to politicize this incident. People have died here. It is disrespectful for them to politicize this incident, so I'm not going to do it.
Haji Vikranji.
I've answered you clearly.
Vikranji.
I'm not going to politicize it.
So you heard what Rahul Gandhi said in Telangana, but Supriya Srinath on the ground in Gujarat, each of your leaders is already blaming the Modi government. They're a government in Delhi, not even in Gujarat. And you're already attacking them, you're already calling it a failure of the Gujarat model.
If you can please indulge me for 30 seconds. That's all that I ask for, because you played a clip. It's important that I play one as well. Please indulge me only for 30 seconds. That's all that I seek. Because it's important for the people to understand what this country is witnessing, with Mr. Modi as Prime Minister. The Prime Minister was in Gujarat on a 3-day trip. This happened late last night. Almost 140 people reported dead, many missing, and several others injured. So far, what we now know is that mostly the dead are either women, children, or the elderly. Who are the people who have been named in the FIR and police action is being taken against them? 3 security guards, 2 ticket clerks, 2 managers, and 2 contractors. There are 3 basic questions that anybody, forget about a political party or an opposition, 3 basic questions that anybody will ask. Firstly, the bridge was thrown open 5 days back. It was repaired. It was a municipality property given to the Oreva group for 15 years. Mr. Jaisukh Patel, and it's documented, it's very widely circulated on media, on the opening day said the bridge will need no repair for the next 8 to 10 years. Why is Jaisukh Patel not named in this FIR is question number 1. Question number 2, why is Sandeep Singh Zala, who is the municipality chief of Morbi, not named in this FIR? Because he turns around and says he had no idea when the bridge was thrown open. Were you sleeping? Because 12,000 people, according to tickets being sold, 12,000 people in the past 5 days had visited that bridge. The tickets were for 12 rupees for children, 17 rupees for the adults. The money would have come in some form to the exchequer. Why is he not named? And last but not the least, the Urban Development Department is with the Chief Minister of Gujarat. Where does the buck on all of this stop? You know where does this stop? And I will now tell you where does this buck stop, because that is really the reality of the situation. The reality of the situation is that everything is an event. The Prime Minister was caught in Gujarat with 6 cameras earlier today at 9 a.m. doing this event that he did in the name of Sardar Patel. Sardar Patel threw his flock behind the floods and when Gujarat was struck with crisis. You think Sardar would have been happy with this? At 4 p.m., changing into new outfit, the Prime Minister talks about being greatly hurt. What about what you did with 6 cameras in the morning?
Are you saying, no, 1 minute. Supriya Srinath, are you saying the Prime Minister should have cancelled all functions today?
I'm actually aghast you asked me that question.
I'm asking you a question. Is that what you're asking?
A simple thing in Gujarat, instead of there were 6 cameras covering the Prime Minister when he offered flowers to Sardar Patel's statue. The same Sardar Patel who did all he could to keep this country united and through his flock during times
your leaders were also offering, your leaders also, with due apology ma'am, were also offering flowers at Sardar. Your leaders were also offering commemoration to Sardar Patel. That's all I'm saying. You believe the Prime Minister should have cancelled all engagements?
No. No, that's not what I'm saying. You haven't heard me. What I am saying is that the Prime Minister stood there with 6 cameras covering him and it was quoted as a Bhavya Ayojan. You think Gujarat, which was going through a personal travesty of sorts, deserved that?
Okay.
And because I asked you for 30 seconds, I urge you to give me those 30 seconds. People should hear what the Prime Minister said. You have played only one part of the speech. This is what the Prime Minister has said while he was in Bengal. The Prime Minister did not just call it act of fraud and act of God and all that. Please listen to this.
Supriya Srinath, I know, I will paraphrase that.
Sorry.
I will
No, 1 second, Rajdeep.
इसलिए भगवान ने लोगों को संदेश दिया है कि आज ये ब्रिज टूटा, कल ये पूरा बंगाल ऐसे ही खत्म कर देगी, इसको बचाओ, ये भगवान ने संदेश भेजा है.
Okay, God has given a message that tomorrow Bengal will be finished. This bridge is a symbol of all that has gone wrong in Bengal. I will get Zafar Bhai to answer, but Reena Gupta has also been waiting patiently.
He was not the BJP's campaign manager.
Okay.
He was not the BJP's campaign manager.
You made your point.
He was still very much the Prime Minister of this country.
I have said
My head
that.
hangs in shame when Mr. Modi does that.
Okay.
141 people dead and we are arresting security guards and ticket clerks. Give me a break. Really give me a break. And I'm sorry to say, Rajdeep here, please indulge me for 10 seconds. The Indian media needs to make government of the day accountable. The Indian media should not be giving cover firing to the government.
I am giving no cover. No, please. No, ma'am. Ma'am, now you.
That said,
ma'am, I am not here to bad for the Indian media. I am giving you full time. I have given you your time, ma'am.
You are talking about some contractor.
Okay, let Reena Gupta now respond. Reena Gupta, where does the Aam Aadmi Party stand on this? Today I even heard BJP people suggesting this is an AAP conspiracy. You want to respond?
Rajdeep, first of all, I want to say that we are really sorry with this tragic incident. Our leader, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, he cancelled all his programs today, and all our party workers are helping in the relief effort. But Rajdeep, in front of me, I have the tender document, the contract document actually, for this bridge repair and maintenance work. It is very clear that no tendering process was carried out. Essentially, this company was selected to do this work. Any government work should have been tendered out. So why was this work given to this company? You do this when you find somebody who is exceptionally qualified and has the technical capability. A company which has no clue about bridge or any infrastructure work like this, and this was such a technical work, why was this given to this company? There are media reports that the collector of Morbi was not in favor of awarding this contract to this very company, but he got a call from a very senior leader of Bharatiya Janata Party from Gandhinagar, essentially being forced to give this contract to this company. And if you look at the contract, Rajdeep, it says very clearly that ticketing, operation, maintenance, everything is the responsibility of this company. And at the same time, Bharatiya Janata Party is blaming the people who were on that bridge. उन लोगों ने भीड़ कर दी, ज़्यादा लोग पहुंच गए. If somebody is buying a ticket, how is that person to know how many people are supposed to be there on that bridge? If I'm buying a ticket, I assume that the government has made sure that the bridge is safe enough for me to go on that bridge. And so this is a clear case of corruption. This is not the first instance, Rajdeep. We have seen in the past few months, highways are being washed away in Bharatiya Janata Party ruled states. We saw how the Himachal Pradesh highway was washed away. We saw how the Bundelkhand expressway was washed away. We saw how another bridge in Madhya Pradesh broke down. So this is all connivance, corruption of Bharatiya Janata Party.
Okay, and both of you have now made several... No, you must now let Zafar Islam answer, because Zafar Islam, you know, until now there has been this dream that all is well in Gujarat. Sab changa hai. Baddu saru chhe. You know, the Gujarat model needs to be examined. The private contractors who are given this contract, apparently without a tender. I have confirmed this also with sources in Gandhinagar who have raised questions over the way the contract is given. Apparently, Oreva wanted to do it because they come from Morbi. But that's not good enough reason to give a contract for such an extended period, A. B, who is being... there is a point Supriya Srinath makes. No senior officials of Oreva, nor any senior officials of the Morbi Municipal Corporation are named in the FIR. And number 3, the Prime Minister says he's empathizing with the people, yet he could have called off his engagements possibly and just focused on the tragedy. I mean, these are serious questions. The Gujarat model will have to be examined, as well as the manner in which compassion is shown.
Rajdeep, first of all, for your information, the Honorable Prime Minister has cancelled many of his engagements. Secondly, as far as FIR is concerned, we are not saying that FIR will not be against that owner of that Avera group, or for that matter anybody who will be found responsible for this incident. So it is very unfair to make this kind of allegation when the investigation process is underway. Third, which is very important, that if you really find out from the collector, he is also one of the person responsible, because it's not an individual who would have given this contract. There was a committee formed, and the committee was formed within the municipal corporation, and he happened to be one of the members. And 6-member committee found suitable this particular organization for this particular job. And it's not for the first time, whether it's the state of Gujarat or for that matter, many other states. every states have this.
But Oreva has
arrangement
no
where they
experience.
give
Oreva has
the-
no experience. You are giving a contract to a company with zero experience in the past of handling such a sensitive project. That's where the question comes of cronyism. Whether it was given to someone only because that person had influence.
Can I
There is an
please
infrastructure company along with Oreva Group.
Absolutely not.
Who was actually managing this contract.
Can I please
So
come
it's
in?
not only Oreva Group. There was another subcontractor who was managing the group, and they had enough experience to manage and for operation and maintenance of this kind of project. So it is unfair, but still I'm telling you that today I do not want to make it a political debate purely because we have lost lives of precious lives. And today, instead of politics, we will prioritize rescue operations. We will give every possible support to the families. And when the investigation is over, whoever
Can
is
I please
found
come
guilty, they will be held responsible
can I
and they
come
will be
in?
punished. That is something which our government has made very,
Okay, so
very
you're saying,
absolutely clear. Whoever-
please wait. You're saying please wait until the inquiry. We are happy to wait. I wish, as I said, similar patience had been shown when bridge collapses take place in opposition-ruled states. And it's true of all political parties, this tendency to immediately blame a particular individual. But yes, Supriya Srined, you're not satisfied with these responses. Zafar Islam is
Rajdeep,
saying
can
we
I
will
also get
ensure
10
that everyone
seconds,
is
please?
punished.
No, how will I be? Because this group... No, I'm sorry, how will I be? Because this group actually makes namkeen, light bulbs and mosquito rackets. And you have given the maintenance of over 100-year-old bridge to a company that has no prior experience without any proper tendering. What are we talking about? Because he's perhaps close to the Union Health Minister with several pictures and him being on the board of foundation trustees of Oreva. What are we talking about here? That needs serious investigation. But the matter still resides in only one thing. This apathy on the account of administration. And the buck on this stops with the BJP government and the BJP chief minister who holds the portfolio of urban
No,
development.
you're telling me that every time there's a bridge collapse in a state, the chief minister has to resign?
As simple as that.
You're telling me every time there is a bridge collapse, the chief minister of a state has to resign?
Rajdeep, can I just come for 10
Rajdeep, can I get 10 seconds, please?
10 seconds, please.
There are,
10 seconds,
there
Rajdeep.
are, Rajdeep,
I will give each of you. Hold on, Reena.
141 people dead.
Okay, you're
Rajdeep,
effectively
there
saying
are
chief minister must take buck
141
stops with
people
chief
dead,
ministers. What you're
and
saying? Okay,
mostly women
you
and
made the
children.
point, ma'am. You made the point. Reena Gupta, go ahead.
How does it not?
Okay.
How does it not?
Okay, Reena Gupta.
Rajdeep, this is not the first time that we are seeing this crony capitalism in Gujarat. If you remember, during the COVID time, there was this case of ventilators being ordered by friends of, by Mr. Vijay Rupani and from his friend's company, and the whole Mantri Mandal had to be changed because of that. What came out of that? Who was held accountable? We got all those faulty ventilators all over the country, and the COVID crisis actually deepened because of that. In the same way, this is another instance where
And the
friends of
remdesivir
Bharatiya
smuggling.
Janata Party are getting more contracts again in the Bharatiya Janata Party ruled state. So obviously the chief minister is accountable and the prime minister is accountable because it's his home state. When he wants to take credit of every small inauguration of an apartment building, of every nukkad building inauguration, then he should also take responsibility when such tragedies happen.
Both of you have made your point. Zafar, final word. Where does the buck stop? You know, this is not the first instance in Gujarat in recent months where there was a Narmada bridge or dam inauguration. Again, there was, within days of that, there was a collapse and no one took accountability. Now you've got this happening here. Where does the buck stop, Zafar? Where does the buck stop?
Rajdeep, as I said in the beginning itself, that I didn't want anyone to politicize this debate. And there was absolutely no room for political debate and
asking questions is not politicization. Holding accountability is not politicization.
Tell the Prime Minister that.
Let me
Tell the Prime Minister that.
Supriya, please don't let him finish.
Matters of tragedy.
Let me complete.
Yeah, please do.
I just want to remind Congress
This is a man-made tragedy.
Ma'am, that's not fair. Let him finish.
This is not a tragedy of nature.
Rajdeep,
yes, go ahead. Where does the buck stop? Where does the buck stop?
Let me ask the Congress spokesperson, after the Bhopal tragedy, what had happened? Who helped Anderson to fled away from India? It was the Rajiv Gandhi, the then Prime Minister. Let me ask you
Where
again.
does the buck stop?
What
You turn to
happened after-
1984 and tell me what happened in Bhopal.
What happened?
I wish I was, I wish we could go back in time. This is 2022. This is October 31st. This is Sardar Patel's birthday. The least that Sardar would have expected in his home state was accountability. That's what Sardar Patel stood for.
That should be the priority of the government.
All of you pay obeisance to Sardar Patel, but don't follow Sardar's values. That's the problem with all of you.
Unlike Congress party, they should not preach us.
Sardar demanded accountability. We expect accountability. And the buck must stop with a proper inquiry.
What are you talking about, Zafar?
Okay.
Now you're comparing.
Okay.
Do you have it?
Time up. Time up. As I said, in the land of Sardar, follow the values of the great man. That's the best way to pay tribute to Sardar. Not necessarily just building statues in his name, but acting on the principles and values that the great Sardar Patel represented. And one of those values of Sardar Patel was ensuring accountability. All we want, forget the politics of it. It could happen in any state of this country, government or opposition. Whenever a bridge collapse happens, it's criminal negligence often, and that negligence must be held accountable. Not just a security guard, but all those who are responsible for allowing a bridge to be repaired, renovated, and then given to the public without a basic fitness certificate. Think about it. Let's take a break. When we return, we'll turn again to the families, those who suffered the most, their thoughts when we return. You're watching the news today, this Morbi special.
Art, science, and risk of making money from the markets. It's not about hot tips, but it's about making the right choice. Don't try and time the markets, but invest time in making the right call.
Only with Business Today Television.
Everyone's busy finding what's trending. You're busy finding out why. India Today, for those who research before reacting. Download the India Today app now. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@ajtak.com.
And while we just focused on the politics of the Morbi tragedy and the need for accountability above all else, the fact is that for many today is a day of mourning. Many lives have been wrecked, many homes have been destroyed, many families have lost their near and dear ones, some have lost more than half a dozen members of their family, including the local Rajkot MP. It is our thought today, our thoughts are with them above all else. Our prayers are with them. And we hope that the lessons of Morbi will be learned and that we can create a system that is as foolproof as possible. I leave you tonight with these images and these stories of the families who lost their lives and their loved ones in the accident in Morbi. Remember, it is a man-made tragedy and therefore accountability is must. For now, my prayers with the people of Morbi. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
India gripped by shock, grief and anger
Over 130 lives snuffed out. Women, little children, whole families wiped out as a price of negligence. 45 children have died in this heartbreaking incident. Hundreds of families are in mourning today. An insurmountable tragedy that's rocked their lives. So many homes wrecked, so many families broken. Rupesh Bhai is devastated. He was on the Morbi bridge with his family, his 3 children and his wife. By some miracle, he managed to get out of the water when the bridge fell. He desperately swam back in to find his little children, to find his wife, but to no avail. Rupesh Bhai is inconsolable. He lost his 2-year-old daughter Maya and his sons 5-year-old Sham and 8-year-old Tushar. This is the heartbreaking story for several families. 7 members of one family, including 4 children, have also died in Morbi.
ये गली से 5 दोस्त साथ गए थे, इसमें से 3 मिला, तीनों की डेड बॉडी मिली है, अभी 2 बाकी है, अभी वो 2 का कोई पता नहीं है.
Even as questions are being asked of the administration, there are many who are now battling personal losses themselves. Rajkot MP Mohan Bhai Kundaria, who reached the site last night, has lost 12 of his family members.
छोटी बहन है, उसका जो जेठ बोलता मेरा जीजा का भाई, उसकी 4 बेटे हैं, 3 जमाए हैं और 5 बच्चे हैं. 12 लोग. 11 डेड बॉडी मिला, 1 नहीं मिला अभी. 11 मिल गया.
So many homes in Morbi today are in a pall of gloom. In one street, 5 families have lost loved ones.
बेहद दर्दनाक हादसा है। यहाँ पे अब जनाजे की तैयारी जो है वो हो रही है, लेकिन सवाल ये खड़ा हो रहा है कि अब भी जो 2 लोग मिसिंग है वो इसी मोहल्ले के हैं। इसी जो 5 लोग यहाँ से इस मोहल्ले से गए थे अपने दोस्तों के साथ, ये सारे लोग उस वक्त वहाँ पर थे। अब आप देख सकते हैं कि मातम छाया हुआ है यहाँ पे।
A survivor we met sitting at the rescue site rues how he managed to get out, but his friend died in front of his eyes. He was lucky, he says, because he got something to hold on to in the water. His account is heartbreaking. He tells us how he saw little children drowning.
मैं तो ऐसे अंदर चला गया था, तैरने को नहीं आता था, फिर चला तो ऊपर आ गया वापस में, फिर नीचे चला गया, फिर चला, फिर ऊपर आ गया, तो नीचे पैर में वो पुल गिरा था नीचे, उसके ऊपर चढ़ गया मैं, तो यहाँ तक पानी आ रहा था, फिर इसको पकड़ के मैं चला गया बाहर।
आपके दोस्त की भी मौत हुई है इस हादसे में?
मेरा दोस्त है, उसकी मौत हुई, फिरोज नाम है।
That's a small baby shoe that I can see here, water bottles. Of course, the people were carrying these water bottles. And this structure, till here, it is the concrete. That's the structure. And from here, this metal sheet, look, this is one part of that bridge. This is what I'm seeing, this is one part of it. And from here, it begins, and the suspension part of the bridge, that begins here from that one baby shoe. Literally, it's heartbreaking to see those images.
With Ashutosh Mishra and Gopi Manyar in Morbi, Gujarat, Bureau Report, India Today.